All right, man. Welcome to Beyond Fists. We are more than a podcast. This is a show where you can express your thoughts, beliefs, disbeliefs, argument, and convos, debates on everything from barbershop talk, hip-hop talk, lunch table talks, and all-around favorite current industry topics. I am your host, Kel.
I am your boy, Gotti, man. And without further ado, we're going to introduce our first guest, my boy, Zay Wilson.
Yes,
Zay
sir.
Wilson,
Yes,
welcome
sir.
to
What's
the...
going on?
All right, man. What's going on?
Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Appreciate y'all.
This is real dope, man.
Through.
My first time, so that's cool. That's cool.
So, I guess I'll go ahead and start it off. So I want to get into just basically like, let's just get into the backstory of how we all know each other, whatever. Just like most people meet, we met in high school or whatever.
For sure.
Me and Zay go back to...
A little bit
y'all go
farther
back to
back.
middle school? Oh, I ain't know Zay to high school. Okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna let you go first. Y'all go back,
So, I
way
mean,
back,
we
way back.
really gonna get into it, man. You know, we gotta talk. We gotta talk that talk, man. Me and my boy Zay, we go back to middle school when I first moved to North Carolina, and shit, I ain't know nobody, dude. We was the jump out boys. Yeah. I got a pic of us in middle school outside waiting on the bus, East River days. I still got that pic on my phone. So, wild, I said, we've been knowing my boy since middle school and high school. Kel met him in high school. I went to the same middle school, high school, but you know, we here today. It seemed kind of full circle, but we still got a lot more to go. But we here to celebrate, you know, the accomplishments that we have achieved so far. And I want to have my boy come on and just, you know, further talk about his business, shed some light on it, and you know, we're gonna get straight into the pod. So, Kel, I'll let you go ahead and open it up.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my first questions for Zay, man. First of all, bro, I just want you to tell the people what you do, what you was doing before this, and you know, just basically tell them what you got going on, right?
Yeah.
Right
So I guess I'll start back when I was in college, right? I went to A&T, went there for a whole semester, then quit on it, bro. You already know how college is. College is crazy.
Right.
For sure.
But you quit early. You said for a year?
Yeah, I went for semesters 6 months. I lived in Greensboro 6 months, hated it, just partying, the whole nine. You already know how that go. Came back, went to Wake Tech, graduated 2 degrees. So that was cool. You know, try to get into the work
we can't just
field.
brush past that. Dropping the clues, mom, for 2
degrees.
Can't just brush past that.
Business and project management. So that was cool. But you know, trying to find a job it was tough, man. It was tough. So I was you know, applying for jobs. I applied for probably 100 jobs, bro. Probably 150 jobs. Probably had 2 good interviews, didn't go well. So I was just man, I got to do something for myself. You know what I mean? So that's when this came about. Kind of get into the real estate game, started with some other methods, and then got to this Airbnb thing. So it just kind of, you know, started networking, and it just jumped off for me. You know what I mean? Just networking, man.
So when it comes to the Airbnb business, I don't think a lot of people realize how lucrative that business is.
Yeah.
It's a business that I have been trying to get off the ground for a minute in Atlanta because it was booming, but then our market in Atlanta became where every apartment building had put restrictions on where you cannot, you know, do Airbnb. So I guess my first question would be for you, and you all your businesses are pretty much housed in Raleigh of North Carolina?
Yeah, Raleigh, yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, how do you navigate between the two? Do you have apartments, or do you just do strictly homes? What are the two? What is
no, I do a mix of both.
Okay.
I do a mix of both. So I got a couple apartments, / townhomes, whatever you want to call them, and then 2 single family homes, and then I manage another super new home close to downtown Raleigh. It's walking distance. Super cool. It's the guy actually who built it was the vice president of Marriott. So he built I think it was $1.5 million duplex. It was real cool. It was a 4-bed, 3-bath. But anyways, I managed that one. And always a mix, you know, just whatever works. I mean, I think every market is different.
It is.
Atlanta might be different. You know, it might be, you know, single family homes that work better in Atlanta versus Raleigh, where I think you know, smaller apartments work better. You can make more money that way. But so it just depends where you're at.
I think what was making a killing was the apartments.
Yeah.
And then I think that's why most apartment complexes started to step in and try to put a stop to it, because they would see more people getting the apartments to do Airbnbs versus having tenants living in it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think it was a dope idea, and it's something that so when I saw that you did it, I'm like, for one, it's dope that somebody that I know for a while that created their own business and pretty much getting out the mud and doing it their own way. And then also with you leaving school and, you know, going to kind of do it, not the traditional way that everybody else, you know, went and started to do after college. Because a lot of people like to, you know, let's be honest, to look down for people that didn't really come finish up at a university. But at the end of the day, you know, you in your own field of business, and it's people that graduated from these universities that's working at Target. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just real.
Since you said that, that's funny because people don't even know. Like, I worked at Target for 3 years.
Right. Oh, wow.
I worked at Target. I just quit this year in March.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's like, just for everybody that's watching, like, it's possible, bro. Like, what, it's March like 6 months ago, 7 months ago? So, like, that turnaround from it's just the work. Y'all know, like, putting in the work for stuff, like, and going back to the college thing, like, college is not for everybody.
It's not.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, you can be, if you're a doctor. That's what I'm saying. It ain't for everybody. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying? I was 18, bro. You know, I know how we was in high school. We was getting down, you know what I'm saying? Just
for real.
Wilding out. You feel me? So, like, you know, when you 18, giving that type of freedom, bro, it's a lot and it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? So I think if you go into college now, you really got to make like an educated decision. Like, is this really for me? Right. Or, you know, if you're not going to go that route, you got to be disciplined, have a plan, and make something happen that way.
I think the biggest thing for me was college. It was like, I'm going to school 4 years to graduate with a theater arts degree. Mine in mass communications, which is for radio. But it's like, you know, in a real term, a real world, meeting and talking to people in the streets, it's like, oh nah, I didn't graduate with a degree. I was hot in the streets by hosting this party, doing this, that, and the third. And I'm like, so I'm spending all this money per year to go to a black college for one. You know, HBCU, shout out to Clark Atlanta, CAU, you know, find a way to make one. But, you know, it's very expensive school. And anybody that, you know, go to Clark or Morehouse or Spelman, anywhere in the, any three in the AUC Center. And shout out to Morris Brown. They just got reinstated to be a college again, too. So any school like that is very expensive. So to waste that money and then have to come out of college in the end and have to pay all that back when you can really start your own business and get it and start it yourself. It's the same thing. It may take you 4 years to get to where you want to be, but them same 4 years you would have been spent in the classroom in college and coming out on the other side feeling shorthanded. So
think about this. They'll give an 18-year-old like $100,000 to go to school and get a debt, but they won't give you 6 figures to get a business.
Start a business.
That's crazy, right? So people don't even think about that, man. It's just like, now we're in a different era where you can make something for yourself. There's so many opportunities, just like what y'all doing, the podcast. Right. People making money on TikTok, like Kel, you know, you know, YouTube, all this other stuff. So it's like I said, just you know, if you're going to college or you're thinking about it, really think about it first. Like a lot of people, they'll go on Google and just say, you know, what degree will make me the most money? Like that's not what it's about. And that's what I did the same thing. So
that's why you got doctors that's hating their jobs. That's why you got lawyers that's getting locked up.
Yeah, it's crazy,
you know, back to the Airbnb tip real quick though. So I be seeing your reviews that you be posting, man. Outstanding reviews. But I want to say, you know, we hear all these crazy stories about Airbnb hosts and all that. So how do you know, keep yourself from becoming one of those crazy Airbnb hosts?
It's tough, bro. I mean, it's tough. It's just mitigating everything. Having your team, I think a team is good. Like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have a guest, or you know, something breaks while the guest is there, or some, you know, some sort of circumstance where you got to kind of step in. But when you have like your cleaners, maintenance men, stuff like that. It, you know, it can usually work itself out pretty cool. Yeah.
I got a question for you, my boy. So I noticed how you said like this business had been like lucrative for you, you know what I'm saying? And so you know, that's money. You know, you got some money, got some bread coming in. So how have you been able to handle the distractions and like women per se, or like friends that's, you know, they want to holler at you again or whatever, because they see you doing something with yourself. Like how have you like handled all that stuff right there?
Nah, I mean that's tough too. Well, just shout out to my girl Tara. We locked in.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
So I got to put that.
You got to put that. Okay, locked in.
But Tara, shout out to Tara. But yeah, so like I mean that for people who are single, I bet they deal with that type of stuff. I don't, because everybody, you know, I just present myself. I already know.
So everybody respect your relationship.
Yeah, they already know that. Yeah, they already know that. And you know, you might have those little one-offs
where it's like, I know, whatever. I try them. You know, you might right.
But
can I get a reaction?
But you know, you just kind of take those in stride. But as far as like the friends and stuff, I just try to be helpful, man. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to give you a handout. I never really, I don't think that's smart to do that. I think to give somebody an opportunity to grow what they got and grow their skills. I think everything is skills. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So if you have opportunity, if I have opportunity to like help you grow your skills and then maybe start a business similar to mine or something different, I'd rather do that than just say, hey, you know, I'll give you my property or give you this, you know what I mean? Give you some money. Like, nah, I'd rather just give you an opportunity or tell you go learn a skill you can do yourself. So
I'm all about that. That's the same thing. I think that's in that lane. That's the same thing I can agree with, because, you know, even like with you coming on here, I wanted to be like a situation to where I'm showing love to my brother,
Yeah.
but I'm also, you know, a situation where we can help each other.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm always about. Like anything that I've ever done when it comes to this field, I've always tried to like include somebody else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now I probably have some fuck ups by including like the
You gonna
wrong
have that.
people,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but I've always tried to like anything that I had a vision for or saw, I always tried to include other people or people that I think may have been, you know, a good fit for that. So
Yeah.
the fact that you say, you know, you look for it as an opportunity, that's real good, man.
Yeah, that's how you do it, man. I think that's just the best way. Like, you can't just, I feel like you can't really help somebody just giving them something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, your homie wants some money, like,
Mhm.
instead of giving him $1,000, be like, yo, let me teach you how to make $1,000.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You got to teach a man how to fish instead of just giving him fish. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's what I learned, and that's how I like people to treat me. Like, I don't want a handout. I'd rather you teach me something so I can continue to fish and fish for myself. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it.
So I noticed that you're on social media now. So
Yeah.
like I want to ask you like what made you decide to, you know, like I want to kind of like start taking content, you know what I'm saying? Because like
Man.
that's content ain't easy. It look easy, but that ain't.
I hear you talk about it too.
You know what I'm saying?
It's tough. Both of y'all talk about it. It's
bro,
tough,
like
man.
it's tough. Like to make a name for yourself,
Super
to build a
tough,
name
yeah.
for yourself. Like you, me and
Especially
Gotti
when
know,
you
man.
ain't out here D-riding.
When you ain't D-riding,
yeah,
you ain't
like-
had, you know what I'm saying, doing something under the slide.
Nah,
you know what I'm
that's
saying,
facts,
just so you
man.
can get put on when you
having
trying to do
1,000 bottles of baby oil. Like, I don't know, bro. Like,
Tryna-
it's
Yeah,
different, bro.
It's different out here,
Trying
yeah.
to be authentic and organic, bro.
Yeah.
So talk about like what made you start doing the
Yeah.
content and like, you know, like what have you learned at while you've been in this space?
Yeah, I know. Well, most people that really know me, like I'm a behind the scenes type of dude.
Mm.
For
So
sure.
like when I grew up, like when I first got interested in business, I was actually creating websites, like doing e-commerce,
Mhm.
because I wanted to be the dude behind the computer making millions of dollars and nobody knew. You know what I mean? So, but to get into this space, a lot of people that I look up to, that are like ultra successful, you know what I mean, in the real estate space or just in entrepreneur space in general, they do content.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And social media, I mean, y'all both know, y'all see it like it's a machine, bro.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It
You
is.
get that one viral video, you just get something that
It's
they
the
own it.
algorithm.
You know what I mean?
It's the
So,
algorithm.
I feel like it was more of a business move. Do I like doing it? Honestly, no, I really don't.
Mhm.
Like taking out my camera, like right now,
Yeah,
like
right.
doing, you know, you have to.
Kind of weird, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
different.
it's
You know,
kind of
like,
weird.
you gotta
You gotta be like, when I always say like, to be a content creator, bro, you
Mhm.
gotta kind of be like a little crazy
Yeah,
because
you
you
do,
like
yeah.
you gotta see it before you record it. But as
Absolutely.
you doing it, it feels like, man, it's kind of weird.
It's
bro.
weird.
Like,
Yeah.
if you, like I be out. I still do this to this day, and
Uh-huh.
I've been doing YouTube for about like 4 or 5 years.
Mhm.
I still go out with my camera, be vlogging. I just be feeling weird because I know people looking at
That's
me.
crazy.
And I'm like, oh my god, it's like I get anxious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though like I know what it's gonna look, how good it's gonna look.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? To the people that's watching, like, oh man, he's showing us his life. But it's like as you doing it, it's
Yeah.
like it feels a little weird. You feel a
Yeah,
little
nah,
anxious.
for
you know
sure.
what I'm
I've
saying?
always been different. I feel like I've always been the one that like, even before it became to vlogging, I've always been the one. I'm recording some shit. I'm
Yeah.
posting.
Mhm.
You know this.
Yeah, I'm about to
Like,
say you had a feel.
I've
for it.
always had a feel for it. But what I will say is weird is the ones on TikTok that's
Yeah.
leaving the crib like a dead when they'll set
Like
the
a dead-
camera up
Yeah,
and they'll walk out. Hey, you gotta come back in.
That's
You gotta come back in your
Yeah.
dope. Take your phone down. Nah,
Yeah,
I'm a
that's weird.
vlogger. I
Yeah.
can't. That's the one thing that I
Well,
haven't
you-
really got accustomed
Yeah.
to.
When you look at it though, you can't lie. It look dope.
Nah,
It
it's
don't
dope.
because
put
it be
together.
yeah.
Nah, it be
Like,
like
it be
Sometimes it depends
fire.
on who's doing it.
yeah,
I know
because
what you
sometimes
mean.
you like
Sometimes it look
you
corny.
just really just
Yeah.
close your. Then now you gotta walk back in,
it's
and then you
crazy.
finna like no, like
Like the drive off is crazy.
Yeah, the
like
drive off,
the
you gotta
drive
pull
off
back
is crazy.
in.
as well.
Like,
The drive
come
off is
on.
crazy.
Nah,
as
it's
well.
crazy. Yeah, but I was gonna say too, like, people nosy, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like I like to tell y'all the truth. Like I've been posting, like I don't know if y'all been seeing, but I've been
Mhm.
posting like educational stuff. Like that's
Mhm.
Yeah, I've been
what
seeing
I
it on
do.
your
Yeah, I've
TikTok.
seen it.
And so like people's attention span is so short that they don't really care about that.
Mhm.
But when I post like a day in the life and I said like, oh, I'm a 6-figure Airbnb
Mhm.
host, or like I'm making this money, or I'm doing this, driving this car, like
Mhm.
people on it.
Catch words.
You know
That's
what I mean?
it's
Yeah.
about.
So it's
Catch
just like,
words,
but people like to see stuff, and they just nosy at the end of the day.
Nosy.
Right? They want to see, oh, can I make $10,000 a month? Can I do this? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? So.
Mhm.
I think that's a big component of it, but yeah, education. I don't know, man. People's attention span is short now, man. It's crazy.
Very short.
It's crazy,
like,
bro.
What the clickbait gonna be?
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
gonna be the leading caption of the
Yeah.
video?
And they get mad when you clickbait them. It's like
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
have got you in the
I
video,
would've-
but I
exactly.
did.
Yeah, if I did
had to.
clickbait.
So it's
Yeah, I had
crazy.
to.
Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, that's all I really gotta say about that. I don't know. Content is cool, but I don't know. I just
You-
do it.
you
I just do it
really
just to
for
do
it?
it. Yeah,
Oh,
I just do it
okay.
just to do it.
Oh, okay.
Just
So
to-
like say you do like start blowing up like in the content
Yeah.
field. Do you feel like that you would like keep it going and if you do keep it going, do you feel like you'll change up your content a little bit? Like if it's like if you start blowing up, you be like, you know what? I can actually like make a living off of this. So I'm gonna start doing other stuff. I'm gonna start vlogging this and vlogging that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean,
about that?
That's like an avenue of business at the end of the day, right? If you start making money from it, I mean, you keep feeding it money. You know what I'm saying? So I think at the end of the day, like I look at media as like marketing myself because y'all know yourself as a brand. You know, Kel is a brand, Kev is a brand, I'm a brand. So like you have to market yourself as that, and content curation is just perfect for that. You know what I mean? So obviously my content will change. Maybe like, you know, I have a better camera. Like I'm using my iPhone now, better camera. Maybe
people, hold on. People be sleeping on the iPhone camera. If you know what you're doing, that camera will get it done.
Yeah,
and then it's at the grip of your hand. You ain't got to go plug it into no computer to edit it. You ain't got to do that. You can do that on your phone. Yeah. Post it up, have it out same day. I've learned that from some of the top content creators. That's why my videos can come out so quick, is because it's at the grip of my hand.
Yeah, for sure.
And I keep the latest phone. I'm not gonna have like some iPhone 10 trying to record. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have the latest. So the quality gonna be there.
Tough, yeah, and that's what I need to
with
get
the camera.
16. Yeah, I need to get the 16. I got the 13.
So don't knock the camera on the iPhone.
I'm not knocking it, but I just you know, I see like I'm just talking from the perspective of people I look at. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
They on a professional camera type way. They got editors. You know what I mean? So it like my most important thing is time. You know what I mean? You can't get time back. Like right now, what we doing, we may be doing it. May be another September 24th. We're gonna get this exact day back. You know what I mean? So like your time is the most valuable thing. And so it's like getting into that content. If it really starts blowing up, like you said, Kel, I'll probably hire somebody, you know, to take care of my media. Like maybe have somebody recording me. Maybe, you know, have an editor. And maybe somebody posting my content, you know, all that type of stuff. So that's what I think about it.
And I feel like a lot of times, like with the success of like your type of business, you'll probably get more views than ever just showing people like, I wouldn't call it flexing, but you kind of do really gotta like, and like your business is like, you kind of do gotta flex. Like, all right, this is what I did with this Airbnb money. This is what, this is a new Airbnb. That is how I flipped it. This is what I'm buying. This is what I'm, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like in your business, if you got people that's not really interested in like Airbnb, like the business of it, they wanna see like, you know, like what you doing, like what he doing with the money.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, what he doing with it. There's a lifestyle part. So like that'll probably be the majority of your attraction when it comes to like stuff like that. But,
no, you're right.
So what do you do, you know, to like just piggyback off what Kel said, in order to have that catch? So when it's on Airbnb website, because I know for me, living in New York, I still have a home in Georgia, like in Atlanta. So when I'm in New York, I do these websites where it's like I can do 3 months, I can do 2 months, I can do a month. Then I can move to another borough. I can move to another neighborhood while I'm still figuring out the city of New York. So what do you do to, you know, draw your clientele in? Like, what are those? How do you, you know, with your pictures and everything, how do you make sure you're like drawing in the attention to consistently have bookings?
Yeah. I think, well, Airbnb, first of all, is a machine. So it's another marketing machine, and it has an algorithm to it, right? So like just like Twitter, just like Instagram, all that. So first thing is like your pictures. You don't want to be taking pictures with an iPhone. Not knocking an iPhone, but
some stuff you got to do it. I'm talking when it comes to content and vlogging. That's
a little bit different. But like, but some people, you know, they kind of do it their own way. But me, I always say professional pictures. Hire somebody to come out. Don't do it yourself. Unless you have a professional camera, of course. And then title is really, really important. And description is really important too. Those three things probably that's the first three things that people see. You know, when they go on your listing, they want to see that. And then obviously price, like you have like certain discounts and stuff like that. People love discounts. We know that. Everybody loves a discount. And so that's stuff that people can initially see without having to go too much into your listing.
Right.
So I think, like I said, pictures, title, and description are probably the three most important things. And then price, like I said, that's probably the
now as far as the Airbnb app goes, what allows your house or, you know, your apartment to be like at the top, or like where people could see it, like where you don't have to go through the 6th page to see your you know, some people
ain't making no money if you on the 6th page.
No money, you gotta go all that. Like nobody's going through all that. You know what I'm saying? People's time, like you said, people's time is valuable. It's valuable. So like, how do you make sure like your stuff is kind of like, you know, where people can see it?
Yeah. So like I said, those 4 things that I mentioned: pictures, title, description, and price. That'll kind of rank you on what page you're on. And then also just your ratings, like your reviews. So like, that's why I make sure like I'm a super host all the time. I have good reviews. Like my overall, I just hit 100 overall reviews, which is like, that's crazy for me. But but my overall like review across all of my things is like a 4.98. So it's pretty good. And so that keeps me up high in the ranks. So that'll keep me on like the first page most of the time. But unless there's like new listing, like if you have a new listing, they'll promote that a little bit faster, just to see like what kind of host you are. But yeah, I think it's mainly reviews though. Mainly reviews. If your reviews are bad, then you're probably gonna end up on like the second or third page, and you ain't really making no money like that.
I noticed in New York too, like a lot of people love to put like New York City in the caption.
Yeah.
And that'll kind of bring it to the top if that's my location. Because I think if you put in a location for the long-term rentals, it's like you can put in New York City. Yeah. But it'll say New York, but then when you go down to that map, it's like the Bronx, or it's like it's somewhere different. So I think location probably play a part too. Like just drawing it in where people will like need to be close to something. Or I know a lot of people put like close to JFK Airport or LaGuardia Airport. So I feel like you said, it's just like TikTok. It's like the clickbait.
Yeah, it is. I mean the same thing. Like I said, all my properties are in downtown Raleigh. So like in all my titles, it says like 5 minutes from DT or like 5 minutes from downtown Raleigh. Or like the one that I said was walking distance, like walking distance to downtown Raleigh. So it's like people are lazy. Like they don't want to like go through your description. They want to just be able to look at, like I said, what's on the initial page and just make a decision. Sometimes they make a decision just based off that. And so having that in your title, which is Airbnb, they only give you a certain amount of characters. I think it's like 50 characters. So you got to use those wisely. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think like you said, putting close to downtown or wherever, like if I'm close to a venue or something like that, putting that in your title can be eye-catching for somebody. You get you a booking too. So
well, I think my man Zayden then gave us the keys, and I don't want him to give us too much keys, so we're gonna switch it up a little bit, man. We're gonna open up the floor for you, Zay, man. So anything you want to talk to me and Kel about, like past, present, future, whatever it is, like open the floor, man. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, man. I want to ask y'all what made y'all start this? Like what made y'all start the podcast thing, and like what motivated y'all to do it? Because I know this is tough. Like you said, you just flew in today. Like that's dedication. That's real. That's real. You know what I mean? And then Kel, you come in here, even though you live in Charlotte, right? But like that's still dedication. Driving here. It's not cheap. So like, what keeps y'all going, and like, what made y'all really start this thing? You know what I mean? I really want to know that, because that's motivation for people.
I like Kel,
and motivation for me too.
For me,
tell the part of the story, the first part.
For me, I feel like, well, just the answer to that last part, I'll just say the love of it. Yeah. For one, the chemistry between me and my co-host. For sure. But like while we started it, I would just say for me, it was a bad situation, and I hate like telling it was. I mean, it is what it is. It was a bad situation. It was a situation where I moved to Atlanta. Went to college. Right at the college, I met this agent. She was supposed to be like an agent. I won't take. I'm not gonna take. She's not an agent, but from what I experienced, it just wasn't. She was supposed to be an agent or whatever the case is, and I was supposed to have had a development deal on Bounce TV, which is like, it's not a cable network, but it's just like one of those satellite channels, but you can kind of still catch it. Apparently, it's been blown up lately. It's kind of like a Tubi of the TV.
Oh, facts. Okay,
in a way.
I got you. That makes sense.
But it's an actual TV channel. Okay. So I was supposed to have a show on this particular network called 4ATL. Nice. It was me, 4 other people. It was 4 guys, 1 female. Okay. I like to. It's like every morning show, like with radio, you got to have a female in the mix. So I just kind of do it with three guys and a female. Unpopular opinion. It works. Yeah. So, the deal went bad. Pretty much. She stole my ideas. Another show during COVID came out with the same format. I found out that she was behind that show coming out. So it's kind of like I fed her everything that I, had in my brain, ideas, and she just kind of took it and formulated her own group with some people that was already established in the game. And most of y'all know the show. It was some pretty established people that's been in the game for years, but the show didn't last but 1 season. So it just goes to tell you can kind of steal from somebody, but you can't take the formula. So for a minute, I was like, fuck the industry. Like, because it was like nobody wanted to hear, oh, your show got stole, because they're like, who are you? Like, all right, then what you want us to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of was like, fuck the industry. And then COVID came around, and I'm like, bro, I missed the mic. And then it was like I was doing radio, and then but it's like radio is it's not. It's different. It's different. Yeah. Radio it's a business. It's like commercials. It's all of this. You got to read a script. I come in at the top of the day. Yeah, I might have some thoughts on how I feel, but they got my show planned out for me. So I'm crazy, damn, podcast is like really in the field where it's like you can jump it off and take it. So we started like the COVID rooms. We started in the crib. We started from a corner space in our rooms. I know for me, little piece of my house, I just stared doing it. And we just going from there.
What about you, Kel? What was the experience?
Well, yeah, it was just basically like Gotti hit me up. It was during COVID or whatever, and this is when I'm doing my TikTok. I'm going crazy, and I'm just posting like every day, just like getting. I
remember that. You was going crazy. I had Instagram all the time.
But I was going stupid. I was just posting. And I was like, Gotti hit me up, and then before like even like way back when we was in high school, we had a little YouTube group that we had started that you know, it didn't work out well. And so when Gotti hit me up, he was like, yeah, bro, I want to do this podcast. I got this idea with this podcast. And I was like, man, because like I always knew he had the talent to like, you know what I'm saying, like for the camera and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, but that'd be it's like it came like full circle. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like something where we started that he introduced me to. Because I had no intention of doing like social media or like content and like that. But when we initially first started doing it, I was like, man, I think I'd be pretty good at that. You know what I'm saying? So then like when he came back around, when it came full circle, I was like, oh yeah, we definitely going.
That's cool.
We definitely going. I don't care how we got to start it. We got to be in the little room. You know what I'm saying? Man, my room, I was sharing, it's crazy. I was living in Wilson. I was sharing a room with my sister.
What?
I had like probably half of this space we in right now, bed and everything. And we was recording the TikToks in there. Yeah. I was recording the show in there, and it was like so
talking about dedication.
Like, like dedication. It was crazy, bro. Like, so, you know,
and crazy. If I can jump in, like I know for me, we didn't never really have an idea when we first started. Maybe like down the line we did of ever being in a space. Like we just thought, like we didn't know where COVID was going, to be honest. We was going live Mondays and Thursdays each week. Every week, Mondays and Thursdays, we were going live twice a week, just doing the show.
I remember that too. That's crazy. So, lives is crazy.
To think like where it has developed with just, you know, waiting the test of time, it just, you know, like the sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah. So let me ask y'all this, like, where do you see yourself, like, short-term plan, like mid-term and long-term, like next 2 to 5 years? Like, what do y'all see? Y'all see y'all keep doing this or evolving into something else, or like, you know, what do y'all see for this type of thing?
I think me and Kel had this conversation the last show. The podcast definitely gonna always be here. Yeah. But we're gonna definitely take it into different areas and start doing different kind of shows. So it may not be just a traditional podcast where we sit here on the mic. But we ain't gonna say too much on that.
Don't say too much. We can't give away too much.
But you know, long term for me, I feel like, well, not even long term, like a few years from now, I feel like I'm in a space now in my career that I'm kind of like, it's in a weird space right now. It's like I'm starting to pick up where I left off when I left everything that I left in Atlanta and moved to New York. So it's like now I'm starting to get on that side of the field. So I'm just adjusting my cleats and, you know, lacing them up and just getting ready for the next thing. Yeah. So
yeah, for me, I just, bro, like just to honestly just continue like doing what I'm doing as far as like the social media and because like it's a lot of times, bro, I thought about quitting. I ain't gonna lie, because I was like,
I talked about that on the podcast.
I thought about
that's
like,
tough. Yeah,
I thought about quitting. I thought about quitting the podcast. I thought about quitting YouTube. Because it's like, man, it's just so.
It's tough.
It's like draining. You know what I'm saying? And it's like harder when you. It's hard not to, but like you just tend to find yourself comparing yourself to like other creators.
Yeah,
like,
it's impossible not.
But it's impossible not to, because it's like, man, we the same age, and he doing this,
and blowing up,
he's younger than me, and I'm blowing up. I'm putting in the work. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Why I ain't getting the love? You know what I'm saying? And then you don't want to be like no copy. You know, you want to be like your own person. Because I could just go copy with somebody else's video and I'll blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I started like. On YouTube, that's what I started doing when I started. I'm like, you know what? I could just do all the little freaky stuff everybody else doing, the little 20v1s that you see now, and all that stuff. And I'll blow up. You know, I'll be rich, but I'm like, do I really want to be successful like that?
You want to be unique to yourself,
authentic to yourself. Is that really who I want to grow to be? Because at the end of the day, people are not watching that video because they like you. They just like what you posted.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
So, but I just found myself saying, I'm just gonna keep at it, because you can't. If you keep going, you can't fail. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact,
if you just keep going, you just can't fail. It don't matter how long it takes. I just became like dedicated to it.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah.
That's basically
you got to.
Yeah. I had a question for you, bro. We wrapping around a little bit. But I noticed that you cut your locks off.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about that. Yeah, I noticed you cut your locks off. So I just want to ask you, like, what made you come up with that decision, and like,
yeah, because cut locks off.
Do you still have them? Because your locks was long, bro. Like your locks was long.
And that's
a
dedication.
Yeah, dedication, right? Like to keep them that long.
A lot of pain in them locks.
A lot of pain.
A lot of stuff in them locks.
So like, talk about that, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, I started my locks when I was 17. Right before senior year started. And I just cut them last year. It's already been a year and a half, bro. That's crazy. March of last year I cut them. to be honest, bro, they was just getting real long. They was getting real long. They was probably what. I don't even want to say nothing crazy, like maybe like 15 inches long, like down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, tight,
so like, it's a lot, man. Like the maintenance, like I'm spending $100 extra a month just maintaining my hair, you know what I mean? Plus a haircut, you know? So like, it just made more sense. And like, I mean, it sucks to say this, bro, but like it's all about perspective and like what I'm doing. It sucks to say this, bro, but like,
it's the truth, bro.
It's the truth. Go ahead. I know what you want to say. I
don't want to discourage anybody else, because like I wanted to be that dude that was like had locks and could, you know, not saying be myself, because I'm not going to attach myself to anything. I attach myself to who I am, like just at the core. But I really love my locks, but it's just like going into what I knew I was getting into. I was like, people gonna look at me a little bit different. You know what I mean? So I'm like. You know, anybody who's thinking about doing something like that, like, you know, business savvy or like business wise, not saying you can't do it, but just kind of keep that, you know, in your mind, especially as a black man too. You know, you already know you're at a, you know, a little bit of a disadvantage. But I don't carry that mindset just to prove that, just to like put that out there too. But yeah, back to your thing, like I just cut them just because of that, and then also they was just getting real long, bro. Like I was just getting tired of the maintenance, and then like when you wash your hair and your hair take a day and a half to dry.
Oh my God,
crazy,
that's the worst, bro.
Like it's crazy. So yeah, man, I miss them. I still got them. I still got them. Yeah, I still got them. Yeah, I was thinking about retaching them too. That's crazy.
Right.
That's what
you might, when you blow off with this business.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
When you get yourself right, you know what I'm saying? You become a household name.
I can do whatever I want. But
it's crazy you say that though. Like with the whole typecasting thing, because I did that to myself for years.
Yeah.
I always felt like I had to have a grown man fade, and I'm like, bro, I have a decent grade of hair. Like I used to always grow my hair out, and it's just like even now, you know, being in film, I get more jobs with having this style of hair than having the fade.
Exactly.
Because they can do more with it.
100%.
So it's like we got to stop typecasting ourselves, but we do have a disadvantage when it comes to the whole lock thing.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, they try to
nasty,
or they have a preconception about you before even speaking to you. So that's dope though, but I'm glad you kept them, because I know a lot of people they always reattach them. So you always got that there to reattach them.
Yeah, it's memories, you know what I mean? Just so, like keeping pictures, anything else.
You know, we talking about the hair, man. So you know I gotta ask. Yeah. You still hoop?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Man, Zay was a baller.
Nah, I still be hooping, man. It's more like recreational for me now, just like, you know, exercise, because I got more time. Like I don't work like a regular job, so like it's cool to like be able to hoop and like work out, just in general, do whatever I want when I get the chance to. But I definitely still hoop.
You still keep in touch with anybody from the town?
Yeah, for sure. I keep in touch with as many people as I can. Just try to, you know, when I think about somebody, I reach out. I always do that. You know what I mean? You know, whenever I think about somebody, I just automatically reach out, because you never know what somebody's going through.
Right, for sure.
You know what I mean? So you just try to uplift people when you think about it, man. I think that's like a really big thing for me too.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
So we finishing up here. So you know, how's it going, man?
Man, if you know, you know, man. My grandma, shout out grandma. Shout out Miss Carter, man.
Shout out Miss Carter, man. Like I'm talking about after school, used to pull up all the time.
Look, if you have been to my grandma's house, bro, you really on that list like that. You know what I mean? Like my grandma, she's really known in the community. But she's doing good, bro. She's matter of fact, she just turned 80 this year. 80.
Oh, bless you. That's a blessing.
Yeah, man. She's she's on her organic wave. She just turned 80, but she just turned 60. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing from God just to see how she, you know what I'm saying, still holding up and still healthy and still. I mean, she helped me clean one of my spots too. I clean one of my spots just to give me something to do, but also kind of like to keep her moving.
You got to tell her.
I mean, she loved doing it. Yeah, I'll tell you, said what's up. She loved doing it, man. So but yeah, she's doing good, man. She's doing good. Still going strong, man. Yep. Man, y'all got anything else? What's up? Any question? Any more questions for me with the Airbnb? I can give as much game as we want.
I feel like with your Airbnb, you don't want to give too much.
I mean, nah,
you didn't give enough. You didn't give enough.
All right, cool.
We got a couple more minutes left, so we can really just we can freestyle it.
Well, how about I give let me give two little tips.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
How about I'll give tips and then y'all give tips on like starting a podcast or whatever y'all doing. How about that? How about we do that then? Though? So my little two tips: if you want to start doing Airbnb, I think it's about really just putting in the initial work. I feel like people, when it comes to, especially like, because at the end of the day, it's sales. You know what I mean? You selling yourself, you selling your business. So like getting on them phones, bro. Like you got to get on them phones and really call people, talk to these property managers, talk to these landlords, and pitch yourself, pitch your business. So like that's one thing is really like, if you think you need to make 10 calls a day, like try to make 60, try to make 70. You know what I mean? Really. Because people like I actually coach 2 girls, which is funny. I never thought I'd even be a mentor like that. It's crazy, bro.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, but and they call me like, I say, I haven't secured a uni yet, and this and that. And I'm like, how many calls you do? She like 4 or 5 a day. I'm like, girl, come on now. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, like they might see this like slightly y'all, but like anything like that. You know what I mean? You really got to put in the work. So that's like first thing, and then second thing, I think making sure like your credit right, because with this like. A lot of apartment complexes, landlords, they'll run your credit. So if your credit ain't good, then obviously you got to repair that first. And then you want to get business funding too. I made a video about that too. If you want to look at my TikTok, I put some game out about that. But business funding is big too. Just trying to and that, like I said, that ties back into your credit, making sure that's straight, making sure you ain't got no collections, none of that. And that'll really propel you because you need the money. You need money to do stuff, right? So yeah, that's my little 2 tips. What about y'all? What y'all got?
So for me, it's more than just podcasts.
Yeah.
When it comes to me, it's anything with film, it's anything with radio. And like y'all know, I do all media.
Everything. Yeah.
So I would just say, just love what you do.
For sure.
Love what you do. That's all I can say, and just keep going. Don't ever stop. Don't steal, like Kel say, don't steal nobody's identity.
Yeah.
Stick with your way of doing things. Be organic, and that's all I can really say on that because it ain't really much tips. Yeah. Now I want to say stop doing podcasts because some of y'all don't be talking about shit.
Yeah, that's
like
a fact.
Some of y'all don't be having no beginning point or no end point.
Yeah.
But I can't be like that. I just say that.
That's a fact. That's a big point right there. Yeah. Got to be talking about something.
You got anything? I don't know.
Got to give value. Got to give value.
I mean, I don't know.
I know you got something, Kel. Come on now.
I'm talking about like I ain't different when it comes to that. Like I'm saying like shit. I don't want these motherfuckers stop podcasts too. Like,
you know what I'm saying? We different when it comes to that.
They got our videos at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, like we different.
You got 20 other people talking about nothing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro. As far as my tip for me, bro, it's just like I feel like you just gotta like perfect your craft. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you doing, just like become a beast at what I'm saying, and just really like hone into whatever you're doing. I know it's hard because like life be life.
Yeah, for real. Tell me about it.
Stuff be like as soon as you think, bro, you got it going on. You got it figured out. You know what I'm saying? You got your ideas posted.
Another curveball.
Exactly. You're posting like crazy. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. That's when you know what I'm saying. And just getting back up. That's just the hardest part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just, That's all. That's all. Like,
last thing too. Focus on one thing.
Please, don't be all over the place.
I know y'all can attest to that. Yeah. Focus on when you trying to build yourself up, whether it's business, just life in general. If you're trying to like do something, like just focus on one thing, yo. Because like, if you trying to like divvy your energy out to 5 different things, you're gonna be mediocre in all 5 different things. You'd rather be really, really good at one thing. You know what I mean? So like, that's the last tip for me. Like, just focus on one thing when you're trying to build up something. Don't try to, you know what I mean, spread yourself too thin. Just focus on one thing and you'll prosper in it.
And one more thing, one last thing. When it comes to trying to reach your goals, please like focus like on yourself. Like it's good to have a partner, but that partner shouldn't overlap you trying to be successful.
Nah, that's for sure. Yeah,
it's okay to you know what I'm saying. You want to be in a relationship, you want to work it out, but if that person is taking away from what you're trying to build or taking away or draining you, let that, you know what I'm saying. You gotta let that person. That's where a lot of people fail.
They mess up. Yeah,
is they putting that man before they business. They putting that woman before they you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
That's how a lot of people fall behind the curve and then they just stop. You don't hear about them no more. You don't see them.
Man, that's a whole podcast.
That's a podcast.
That's a whole
Kel just opened up a whole nother conversation. We ain't even gonna go there. But I gotta say something now because I've experienced that too with me. I was in a relationship like straight out for like 4 or 5 years, which I felt like took a lot of time. But I can honestly say that relationship we built each other up. But after that with dating, that shit draining.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, you going out with somebody, you spending $100 a day. You go out with somebody because y'all already know. I already told y'all I date, so I can be different every day. Yeah. So you spending this, you spending that. Like, then think about hindsight that I could have put that into something that I have going on, or me giving you some money to go buy you some, or I'm sending you to go buy you this perfume, or taking you out doing this, that, and the third. I could be going to something else.
Yeah.
So be focused on yourself. Be in it for you. Like all that. We ain't helping each other if it ain't beneficial.
Yeah, and especially the dating world right now.
Right, yeah, and today,
Lord,
oh my goodness,
for real, like it's weird,
bro. Don't even talk about it.
But like they said, that's a whole other podcast.
That's all we
can't even go in there, man. So y'all already know the drill, man. It's been another great show. I just want to thank my boy Zay for pulling up to Charlotte, man.
I appreciate y'all
pulling up, you know, coming on the pod, just shedding light, man, on somebody else with a business, a successful business at that.
Thank you.
So before you go, before I do my closing, I want you to run down your social medias real quick so they know where to follow you.
Yeah,
and
man.
where they can find you and book you.
Instagram is Isaiah Wilson _REI, and then I don't even know my TikTok. I don't forgot my damn. I think it's
Is it in your Instagram bio?
Yeah, it's in my Instagram bio. I got a whole link tree.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a whole link tree in my bio. Go to every one of my properties and in my TikTok and YouTube too. I'm on YouTube. Okay. I ain't got that many subscribers, but subscribe if you can. Sure. And I'm gonna try to be more consistent too on that. So yeah, man.
For sure, man. So y'all already know the drill, man. Y'all already know what to do. It's been another great show. Tell a brother, tell a sister, tell a mother, tell a cousin, auntie, brother, step daddy, step cousin, godmama, goddaddy. Tune into your boy,
yes, sir.
Kel and Gotti, each and every Monday, 8 p.m. sometime, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Sometime it's Tuesday at 8 a.m. Depending on whatever the video is. Tune in to your boys, man. And until then, we are out.
Man, that's dope.